It offers us timeless beauty. It is home and refuge to creatures great and small. It has seen the worst of times and the best of times. This is the story of Michigan's Rouge River and of a series of innovative partnerships of people and institutions working together to restore and preserve the river for generations to come. A watershed is the area of land that is drained by a river system. The Rouge River watershed, located in Michigan, runs through rural and suburban areas and through the most densely populated and urbanized areas in the state of Michigan. The watershed covers 466 square miles, includes all or part of 48 communities in 3 counties, and is home to some 1.5 million people. The Rouge River itself is more than 126 miles long. The river has 4 branches and runs through more than 50 miles of public parklands. It is home to numerous species of plants and wildlife. Its water quality directly affects the Detroit River, Lake Erie, and the entire Great Lakes system. Prior to the arrival of the French and British in the 1700s, Native Americans settled in the watershed, all dependent on the river for food, water, and transportation. The years from 1850 to 1940 brought immigration, industrial development, and rapid urban growth. Metropolitan Detroit became the center of America's industrial heartland, and during World War II, the country's arsenal of democracy. This growth and development led to runoff pollution. Sewer pipes carried human waste and stormwater runoff directly into the river, and industrial waste was poured into the Rouge or dumped and buried in the watershed area. Over the years, there were efforts by diverse stakeholders to clean up the Rouge, and the 1972 Clean Water Act brought some attention to the problem. But by the 1980s, the Rouge River was condemned as one of America's most polluted waterways. Stagnant, foul-smelling pools of bubbling waste marred its former beauty. In places, it ran bright red from pollution discharges. Newspaper articles declared that the Rouge River and much of the area around it were so degraded that restoration was impossible. And yet some citizens and local, state, and federal officials believed that the Rouge, despite its seemingly overwhelming problems, could be saved. In the late 1980s, Wayne County Executive Ed McNamara, Congressman John Dingell, Congressman Joseph Nolenberg, and U.S. District Court Judge John Fikens began laying the groundwork for an unprecedented partnership that would eventually bring together federal, state, and local governments, area industries, community-based organizations, and caring citizens in a coordinated effort to restore and preserve the Rouge. In 1992, their work led to the Rouge River National Wet Weather Demonstration Project. The Rouge Project, sponsored by the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, is one of the first efforts in the country to restore a river system in an urban area using a holistic watershed-based approach. It enables the numerous stakeholders within the watershed area to determine how to achieve water quality goals and protect water resources. And because the river and pollution know no political boundaries, it encourages 48 communities and 3 counties to work together to identify common problems and to form partnerships that will lead to solutions. This includes working closely with regulatory agencies, citizens groups, and others. Over the past 8 years, more than $500 million has been spent as these partners focus on the distinct challenges facing 3 parts of the watershed: the headwaters, suburbanized areas, and urbanized areas. The headwaters of the Rouge River are located in the upstream areas of the watershed that is still rural and semi-rural. Communities here have formed partnerships designed to protect and preserve the river. A number of communities have adopted new stormwater, wetlands protection, and septic system management ordinances to ensure that future land development is Rouge-friendly. Efforts to educate citizens young and old about the watershed are also an important part of their preservation strategy. Communities in suburbanized areas of the Rouge River watershed face different challenges since the watershed in this area is largely already developed. Overflows from the combined sewer systems carry a mixture of raw sewage, industrial waste, and stormwater directly into the river. Stormwater, which carries a variety of pollutants, also discharges to the river and is one of the most significant sources of water pollution in suburban and urban areas. To fight this problem, community partners in counties throughout the suburbanized watershed area have built combined sewer overflow or CSO control basins to prevent raw sewage from entering the Rouge and affecting communities and wildlife downstream. Despite some initial citizen opposition to these facilities, CSO basins have become sites for nature preserves, public parks, and other environmentally friendly sites. Ever-increasing land development also has an impact on the Rouge, as undeveloped green space gives way to the impervious surfaces of new roads, parking lots, subdivisions, and malls. Stormwater from developed areas pick up pollutants and quickly carry them directly to the river. Communities are working in partnership with a variety of organizations to reduce the use of harmful chemicals such as fertilizers, to locate and eliminate pollution sources, and to create or restore wetlands that provide both pollution control and new wildlife habitats. Combating river pollution caused by CSOs and stormwater runoff is also a challenge for partners in urban watershed areas. There is limited room for building new facilities such as CSO basins. Other solutions must be implemented, such as frequent street sweeping, disconnecting downspouts, using rain barrels, and instituting stream bank restoration programs. All areas of the watershed also depend on widespread community education and active cleanup programs to help restore and preserve the Rouge. Citizens groups like the Friends of the Rouge and the Rouge RAP Advisory Council are integral to watershed restoration and preservation efforts. They are responsible for educating and mobilizing thousands of citizens. Rouge Rescue Day, which traditionally focuses on removing log jams and garbage from the river, has expanded to include River Day, which features nature walks, flower planting, and festivals. On the same day, citizens groups working to restore and preserve the Clinton, Detroit, and Huron rivers also have cleanup and river appreciation days. More and more schools have joined the Rouge Education Project. Children participating in this program gain hands-on experience in water monitoring and a heightened awareness of the importance of the river. Institutional partnerships have also played a key role in restoring and preserving the Rouge. The United States Congress, the U.S. District Court, and regulatory agencies have provided vital support to the Rouge Project. For example, the Michigan Department of Environmental Quality is responsible for pioneering a stormwater general permit program that allows communities the flexibility and encouragement to implement voluntary pollution controls and prevention programs as part of their required watershed management plans. Watershed-wide issues are addressed by the Rouge Steering Committee, a group composed of representatives from all of these partnerships and chaired by SEMCOG, the Southeast Michigan Council of Governments. In 1999, a group of businesses, institutions, and communities along the most downstream industrialized area of the Rouge formed the Rouge Gateway Partnership. This group developed an impressive plan for restoring the ecosystem along the concrete channel section of the river. They will work in concert with Wayne County and the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers to bring this project to fruition. Since the Rouge River Wet Weather Demonstration Project began in 1992, real, tangible, and dramatic progress has been made in restoring, preserving, and improving the water quality of the river. The river is a place for enjoyment and recreation again. Wildlife of all kinds is returning, and canoeing is being restored on the Rouge River. A multi-million-dollar project removed PCBs from Newburgh Lake, The waters there have been restocked with game fish, and a prohibition against fishing may soon be removed. This was once a river that no one dared venture into, but in which swimming may soon be possible again. Innovative partnerships that combine the best in science, technology, and human resources have resulted in decreased pollution, improved water quality, and the return of recreation and wildlife to the Rouge. But everyone's help, your help, is critical if progress is to continue. There are many ways to participate in restoring and preserving the Rouge River watershed, from encouraging your community to open a drop-off site for hazardous household waste to learning about non-polluting, chemical-free gardening techniques. You can find out more about these and other ways to get involved by calling the Rouge Information Line at 1-888-223-2363 or by accessing the Rouge Project website at www.rougeriver.com. The Rouge River is a wonderful resource. If we remain steadfast in our efforts to restore and preserve it, generations far into the future will enjoy the fruits of our labor and find pleasure in its timeless beauty.